Well, good Monday evening, everybody. Taylor Plott here with your latest forecast update. And yes, we do have some strong or even severe storms to talk about once we get into tomorrow and even tonight as well. We do have some stronger storms out there tonight, but our focus for this will be tomorrow, mainly for Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. That's where we're going to be seeing the chance at a few more showers and storms that could be on the strong or even severe side. This is what's going on right now across the region. This is 7:15 on your Monday evening. Still have a tornado watch in effect for parts of Texas and Louisiana, over there towards Lake Charles and Alexandria areas. Showers and storms are still ongoing across those parts. But as we get into the day tomorrow, again, all this will start to shift a little bit further to the east with time, and some of them could contain some damaging winds and maybe even a brief tornado once we get into the day tomorrow as well. So this tornado threat that's across Louisiana today, I think it's a little bit more today than it is on Tuesday, but there is still a chance that there could be a few isolated tornadoes once we get into your Tuesday time frame. Let's take a look at the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook. This is for tomorrow, so this is in effect from 6 a.m. tomorrow until we get into 6 a.m. on Wednesday. So that's kind of your 24-hour window that the Storm Prediction Center does their outlooks for. So what we're going to be watching is ongoing showers and storms across parts of Mississippi and Alabama once we get into the early morning hours on your Tuesday. And then once we get into late Tuesday morning, most of this should start to shift a little bit further to the east with time. Again, just some marginal risk right now. This isn't a slight risk or anything of significance. Again, this is, look down here, this is level 1 out of 5. Actually, I see that's off the screen a little bit. There's level 1 out of 5, so this is nothing to really be overly concerned about, but just know that there could be a few rough storms out there once you get into your Tuesday. Let's go through some of the model guidance real quick. This is the latest HER model. I say latest, yes it is. It's the latest HER model. I think it might still be ongoing, so we might have to go back model run or two to get a little bit further out in the forecast. But once we get into midnight tonight, this is kind of what the radar should look like. Those showers and storms that I showed you just a little bit earlier will start to move into parts of Mississippi and then even still continuing to track across parts of Louisiana as well. One thing we'll have to keep an eye on, these cells down here that are forming out ahead of this line, those could be those individual discrete supercells. Those, if they do develop and get strong enough, those would be the ones to watch for that tornado potential once you go into the overnight hours tonight into Monday morning. So those will continue to be watched. As we get throughout the morning hours, notice that we get pretty clustered up here. So one of the things that happens is if you get a lot of clustering of these showers and storms going on, they really can't get too strong. They really need to be out there by themselves, like I showed those discrete supercells. If they remained like this out here, then I'd be a little bit more concerned about a bigger severe weather potential on your Tuesday. But notice how it really gets clustered up here. There's a lot of activity going on once you get into the morning hours on your Tuesday. So that actually will end up limiting the severe weather risk, but it will also create a little bit more of a flash flooding risk that we'll have to watch for on your Tuesday. Now, this is about 3 o'clock in the morning on your Tuesday, so if you're here in Birmingham and Huntsville and the Shoals here in Alabama, probably seeing some of those scattered showers and rumbles of thunder moving on through during the early morning hours, so don't be shocked if you get waken up by some of that thunder out there and some of the heavy rain. Once you get into 6 a.m. on your Tuesday, just a big area of rain and storms across the majority of the state of Alabama. Still watching for some individual cells that could have a little bit of severe risk with them. Again, main thing will be just some isolated damaging wind gusts around 60 miles per hour, but we'll still have to watch to see if there is a quick spin-up tornado possible across this area. I think the best chance of that will generally be South Alabama, Southern Mississippi, and down here across Louisiana, places like New Orleans, seeing some of that better chance. Even though it's on the lower end, it's still the best chance out there that there could be an isolated tornado or two once you get into the morning hours on your Tuesday. And then once you get into the afternoon hours, this is noon on Tuesday, the bulk of this activity will just kind of continue to blow up along the coast. One of the things that this could do, I know that this model is still showing some pretty hefty storms here at noon from Birmingham down to Tuscaloosa, down just to the east of Meridian, Mississippi. If this big blow up of showers and storms happens down here towards the south, across parts of the Florida Panhandle and down into the Gulf of Mexico, that will likely limit the overall intensity of anything further to the north. It just acts as a brick wall of just it keeps all the best moisture and instability from coming further to the north. So it's just this giant wall that it basically creates, and it really limits anything from getting too strong north of that. But the front is back here, so I wouldn't be shocked if there is some showers and storms that develop along the front. Matter of fact, I think it's likely, but I don't think it's going to be as strong as the HER model shows it right here. Let's take a look at the NAM, see what it has on here. See, it has a little bit further back, but notice it's pretty weak with that area of showers along the front, with everything down the south just again sucking in that moisture, acting like that big brick wall. And then anything that does get going along the front, I mean, I do think there's going to be some heavy downpours along the front when it comes on through, but I don't think it's going to be anything significant. I think all of this stuff down to the south just really kills the amount of storm potential with that front. And that's a good thing, because if you look at the instability values, it's still on the weaker side, but there is better instability further to the west along the front. But again, there's just not enough just stuff going on in the atmosphere. All this, what we call prefrontal, prefrontal, it's along the trough, that activity, it really just sucks away any chance that the energy back behind it actually is able to get used. So that's a good thing. But again, showers and storms will still be likely along the front, but the bulk of the activity will start to move to the east once you get throughout the afternoon and evening hours on your Tuesday. As for that flooding potential, let's show you the latest Weather Prediction Center outlook. So let me kind of scoot this forward a little bit so that kind of captures everything going on tomorrow. Still really looking like the main cutoff is going to be generally along Interstate 20 here in Alabama, and even down towards parts of Mississippi. Anything further to the south of Interstate 20, you could see anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain, maybe a little bit higher in some isolated spots. If you get closer to I-20, I would say probably generally north of US 84. Once you kind of get north of that and then get closer to the I-20 corridor, I think anywhere around an inch is probably a good bet at this point. And then once you get north of I-20, especially across parts of Alabama, places like Huntsville, Coleman, Decatur, Muscle Shoals, probably not getting an inch, maybe generally getting around a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch. So the further north you get, the less in the way of rainfall you're expected to get on your Tuesday. As for that flooding potential, again, it's going to be down here where you see your reds. Anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain down here across southern Alabama into the Florida Panhandle, parts of extreme southeastern Mississippi, and into parts of Louisiana. This is going to be your flooding potential area. So I don't think it's going to be a widespread flooding potential out there, but I think there could easily be some isolated flooding problems that happen on your Tuesday. But I don't expect it to be like a huge issue when it comes to flash flooding potential on your Tuesday. Now, behind this, we get really cold. I say really cold. It's going to be a lot colder than what it has been over the past several weeks. We've been very warm here across the southern U.S., but there will be a big cool down coming. Temperatures probably staying in the 40s and 50s for highs once you get into, say, Thursday and Friday, and then the potential for another frost and even the potential for a first freeze across parts of the southern U.S. is on tap for this weekend. I don't think it's going to be a huge freeze. We're not talking about temperatures getting way down into the 20s. We're talking about temperatures generally right around freezing, so 32, 31, 30 degrees is probably going to be your best bet once you get into your weekend with a chance for those cooler temperatures. Well, that's what I got for you guys this evening. Stay safe out there. Again, stay weather aware. There's a chance for those stronger severe storms once we get into your Tuesday, but I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. But just stay weather aware in case some of those storms do impact your area.